Hello, my name is Madeleine Parker. I'm a psychic channel medium, and this astro or tarot scope will be for the sign of Scorpio. And I like to think that my reads pertain to wherever Scorpio falls in your chart, but also whatever planets you could have in Scorpio. Of course, your sun, your moon, but strongest your ascendant. All right, so I'll just have a quick, brief talk about what's going on astrologically. Today we had Pluto stationing direct. So let's see, for Scorpio right here, I have a little notebook that I keep by me so that when I do reads for people, I know where all the planets are for them in their ascendant, aligned with their ascendant. Okay. So for Scorpio, we've got two planets. I think Venus is Actually, you know what? This is next week. Yeah, well, today's the 3rd. That's for next week. I did next week. The planets are going to shift into Scorpio next week. Two planets are going to shift into Scorpio. Oh, yep. Two planets are going to shift into Scorpio next week. Venus and Mercury. The sun is going to be in Scorpio's 12th house, in the sign of Libra. Today we had Pluto stationing direct, so for Scorpio, Pluto direct in the 3rd house. Deep clearing issues around communication, fears. Pluto in Cap is clearing. There's Capricorn. Pluto is in Capricorn. For Scorpio, it's in the 3rd house. So stationing direct today, clearing, I think, deep fears around communication would be my interpretation of that. We also have Mars. Do we have Mars shifting today? Saturn? Oh. What else did we have today? We have something. Well, we have the full moon coming into. We've got the full moon on the 13th in Aries, which will be for Scorpio in the 6th house. So that will bring to light or to revelations day-to-day work, routine, health matters, bringing them to awareness and, work and ways of being of service. But I think that's all for now. We've got Mars in, I guess so. Yeah, Mars transitioned into Libra today. So that's what happened on the October 3rd. We had two movements, Mars into Libra. So for Scorpio, that puts Mars in the 12th house. So that means a little bit of a meditative, relaxed period, or sort of not as extremely active in your Mars energy right now. All right, I think that's just a little overview. A lot of planets in the 12th house for you, Scorpio. That's very much sort of dreamy state, a little bit disengaged, a little in your own world for right now, because you're going to have all your planets in the 1st house coming up. So, all right, let's see how these energies are affecting the sign of Scorpio. And I am hosting a workshop this weekend if you're interested. Email me, Madeleine Parker, at 111@gmail.com. My email link is below. And if you would also like a personal tarot read, and I do energy alignment reads, so if you'd like to check your energies and see if they are aligned, your feminine and masculines, email me, and I will help you get balanced. All right, so let's start. Okay, we're talking about Scorpio, right? Scorpio. All right. I call in the highest guides and angels, highest frequency guides and angels to be with me in this read so that I may deliver clarity of guidance to the energy of Scorpio to help them to their highest best destiny and highest best version of themselves. Thank you, Spirit, for being here with us. All right. Oh, yeah, we had recently, too, we had that new moon in Libra last week on the 28th. as well as Venus coming into vision or clarity or vision, Venus coming into the night sky, appearing in the night sky. So, all right. All righty, let's have a look. Scorpio is represented by the Death card in Tarot. Just going to check and make sure all the cards are in sight pretty well. Yep, pretty good. May have to bring these up a little. Okay, let's have a go here. Well, what did I say about those planets being in the 12th house? That would make sense as to why we start the readout with the High Priestess, because the 12th house is very much about sort of connecting with higher spirits, higher knowledge, higher consciousness, sort of allowing yourself to disengage from the world, as it were. And it looks like the Scorpio are going through, the other thing, the 3rd house, we had Pluto stationing direct in the 3rd house for Scorpio, which is really the 3rd house could also be communication. So we get the Hangman in what I have in my grid, the thinking spot, and it looks to me like Scorpio are transforming some thoughts. We get the Death card and the Justice card representing energy of Libra in Mars. So let's take another. Let me just not get distracted by that yet, but we'll get back to that. But it looks to me like Scorpio are letting go of thoughts, ideas, 3rd house stuff, maybe ways of communicating, and realizing that they've been out of alignment with their choices and held in strong with out of alignment choices and held their ground with out of alignment choices. And that the divine, this is the section of my read which is the advice from your higher self or your divine self, and or the divine, however you like to interpret the divine energy in your life. So the 7 of Cups out of alignment, it looks to me like they're going through a spiritual sort of download, connecting with higher realms and developing clarity of what to let go of, superficial choices that throw them out of alignment, that they hung in there really strong on, because Scorpio is a very loyal sign. So Scorpio would have really hung in there and hold their ground on some area that they've now released. And that does kind of somehow connect with the 3rd house, because 3rd house is communication, thoughts, mercurial things, and this is really letting go of that. This is also hitting in my thinking section of my read, so letting go of thoughts because of a higher consciousness, a higher awareness arriving, realizing that there have been out of alignment choices. Now, it looks to me like there's a transformation here, because we get the Death card. This is the heart space for Scorpio, so this is enabling them to make a strong heart connection in an area that they have previously turned away from, or new beginnings that they've. Now, sometimes when I get cards turned away, that's out of alignment. So I'm going to say that in this read, the Fool is out of alignment. So it feels like this is. It doesn't mean that this new beginning isn't going to happen. There's just a period where they're not taking the new beginning yet. They're not jumping fully in yet. They're not activating it, but they know they're aligning with this new beginning, because the Page of Cups, they're coming into conscious knowledge of what they're letting go of, thoughts that are barriers to what their heart knows as to be true, and to communicate from the heart. Because remember, we're talking about 3rd house, this is a communication card. So letting go, communicating from the heart, understanding that they want heart, truth, honesty in their lives. Because I would say this is a relationship read, but it feels more like this is a read about cooperating with people in general in their lives, and how to integrate in the world, because we get the 3 of Pentacles signifying cooperation. So there's a big transformation for Scorpio, but bringing them to a more fulfilling life experience, because they're ending fears of communicating the truth. I would have to say that there's a transformation of the Scorpio energy taking the effort, because the 10 of Wands is hitting the divine spot. That's the 11th card that makes this cross. So my grid goes, the situation, your thoughts, what the divine wants you to think, the wild card, your heart space on it, what you feel about it, head heart alignment, what the divine wants you to know, the wild outcome card, situation heart, again, there's what divine wants you to think, what divine wants you to know about your feelings or about the truth, and then that's that row, heart divine truth, heart divine knowledge. So we get the dual energies. And then this is the middle spot, which is the 11th spot, which we hit on the 10 of Wands, which means they hanging into relationships that were needing to be let go of, as it were. There's a realization that these choices create too much burden. Trying to cooperate with people that aren't really, that aren't really the truth. That, in other words, trying to cooperate without being your true, honest self. And this read is telling you that new beginnings are at foot here, are happening and about to happen. But there's a new way of cooperating in group situations where it's not such hard work for you, because you're going to you're having a transformation where you're going to start bringing your true self, your honest self. And that's going to make you a really emotionally more balanced Scorpio, because Scorpio is all about feelings. And we get cups, cups, cups. So there's a transformation for Scorpio where they're really shifting to a heart truth and communicating and knowing how to cooperate and communicate with people. Again, small businesses, it could be, but coming from a place of honesty and not and knowing that anything that can't handle their honesty will fall away. Is a superficial relationship, isn't one to be had. So as much as and they're realizing this is really lightening the load for Scorpio. They're going to realize after this transformation how much lighter life is for them, because they don't have to hide their truth, and because they're letting go of the idea that they have to, because that's the hangman there. So they're letting go of the thoughts that had them believe they needed to make out of alignment choices. So this is, again, the Justice card has a very similar meaning to the Death card, which is really deep fears balancing out, deep transformation. This Plutonic energy has been tough on a lot of people, but we really are clearing some deep fears, and that help us get what we want, because once these fears are cleared, it's going to release the Scorpio from feeling trapped in situations that weren't real, and it's going to bring more honesty and more fulfillment in home life, in relationships. It's bringing a more intimate, emotionally fulfilling, as I kind of repeated myself saying that, but it can be in a work environment too. Even though this card is a happy family card, it really represents fulfillment all the way around. And with these cups, and this is the 10 of Cups, we're really seeing Scorpio leaning to a higher desired life, or a higher wish, or something that they want to materialize that comes from the heart, that brings them emotional stability, and that ends the feeling of trapped in situations that are out of alignment, that are false. It's sort of like the Scorpio are having the confidence to just sort of break away from what doesn't truly feel real, if that's the best way, and they realize that that's the easiest way to go into the future, to hang into the future. So they're willing to quit anything. This is the quit card. So they're quitting things, saving their money for a new future, hanging in there for a better future, because they're not going to hang into stuff. They're not going to hold on to stuff that's superficial. So they sort of have to start a new beginning, realizing that you made out of alignment choices, not from heart's truth, is going to make you have to start new beginnings. And so you may have to save your money for a little while. I had to save my money too right now with some of the changes that are going on in my life, and it's just a temporary thing. And but the Scorpio are holding back right now from action, really, because they're going through this spiritual sort of inner, well, they're going through a transformation, the Death card, but they're going through a spiritual transformation, realizing that they are safe, that it's safe to be yourself. And this is going to happen quickly. So this is inner union. This card represents union of the two energies within, masculine and feminine. And this is through service. And this is rapid movement, Eight of Wands right there. So it looks to me like, oh my gosh. This is the Ten of Wands. This is going to be a rapid breakthrough for the Scorpio energy. Yeah, new start. New start. There's that new future. So creating a whole new vision and a whole new future for yourselves, Scorpio. Wonderful read. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like it if you like it and subscribe if you like. Namaste. Thank you. Good night.